You can use words or an algebraic expression to write a mathematical rule that describes a real-life pattern. Problem 5. Writing a rule to describe a pattern. This one's about hobbies. The table below shows how the height above the floor of a house of cards depends on the number of levels. Part A. What is a rule for the height? Give the rule in words and as an algebraic expression. So we can consider the table. On the left, we have a column, the number of levels, and we can see 2, 3, 4, and n. On the right, the height in inches. So we get this information by looking at the diagram shown, where the table is 24 inches off the ground. Each level of cards looks to be 3.5 inches high. And so we can write these expressions. 3.5 times 2 plus 24. So 3.5 is the height of each level. 2 is the number of levels, which we can get from the left-hand column. And then plus 24, we're adding that constant height of the table, 24 inches. As we move on in the table, 3.5 times 3 plus 24. 3.5 times 4 plus 24. And finally, the question is, what expression would we use to represent the height of n levels of cards? So as we work, consider what you know. We know numerical expressions for the height given several different numbers of levels. Consider what we need. We need a rule for finding the height given a house with n levels. So our plan, look for a pattern in the table. Describe the pattern in words, then use the words to write an algebraic expression. So, the rule in words. Multiply the number of levels by 3.5 and add 24. The rule as an algebraic expression. The variable n represents the number of levels in the house of cards. So we can write 3.5n plus 24. This expression lets you find the height for n levels. Part B. A group of students built another house of cards that had 10 levels. Each card was 4 inches tall, and the height from the floor to the top of the house of cards was 70 inches. How tall would the house of cards be if they built an 11th level? Well, since each card was 4 inches tall, adding one more level would increase the total height of the house of cards by 4 inches. So the house of cards would be 70 plus 4, or 74 inches tall, if the 11th level were added. And finally, part C. Another group of students built a third house of cards with n levels. Each card was 5 inches tall, and the height from the floor to the top of the house of cards was 34 plus 5n inches. How tall would the house of cards be if the group added one more level of cards? Since each card was 5 inches tall, adding one more level would increase the total height of the house of cards by 5 inches. So the house of cards would be 34 plus 5n plus 5 more inches tall if the next level were added. And we could simplify that expression, 39 plus 5n. Your turn. Suppose you draw a segment from any one vertex of a regular polygon to the other vertices. So remember, a vertex is a corner point in a polygon, and we can see a diagram below. A sample for a regular hexagon is shown. Use the table to find a pattern.